Welcome, friend. If you're here tonight, you might be carrying something impossibly heavy. Not a task, not a problem, but existence itself. The weight of simply being. You're not alone. You can close your eyes now. Let your body settle wherever you are. There's nothing you need to do here, nothing to accomplish, nothing to prove. For the next hour or so, you have permission to simply exist. Tonight is about something simple but profound. Permission to be, not permission to achieve, not permission to produce, not permission to be good enough, just permission to exist. If that sounds like something you need to hear, you're in the right place. We'll explore the Buddha's teaching on inherent worth, on being versus doing. We'll hear stories of people who rediscovered what you may have forgotten, that you don't have to earn your existence. And we'll practice together what it means to simply be. By the end of our time, you may find your breath has slowed, your body has softened, and that weight you've been carrying has lightened, even just a little. Let's begin. First, let's understand what you're feeling right now. Picture this. It's late. The world is quiet. Everyone else is asleep. But you're lying here, staring into the dark, feeling something you can barely name. It's not sadness, exactly. Not anxiety. It's heaviness. The weight of existing. This morning, you woke up. If you can call it waking up. Your alarm went off. You hit snooze once, twice, 3 times, and before you even opened your eyes, you felt it. That crushing sense of, oh no, I have to do this again. Another day of being. Another day of carrying this weight. You lay there for a few minutes, maybe longer, just staring at the ceiling. Thinking about the simplest things, taking a shower, making coffee, getting dressed, and each one felt like a mountain. Your mind started negotiating. Do I really need to shower today? Can I skip breakfast? What's the absolute minimum I need to do? Not because you're lazy, but because the effort of existing feels impossible. Finally, you dragged yourself out of bed. Your body felt heavy, like someone had turned up gravity just for you. You sat on the edge of the bed, and for a moment, you thought, I don't know if I can do this. But you did, because you always do. The shower. You stood under the water, and it took everything you had just to wash your hair. Your arms felt like lead. Your thoughts were slow, thick, like moving through mud. You caught yourself staring at the tiles, zoning out, and realized 5 minutes had passed. What am I doing? Just existing feels like work. Getting dressed was another negotiation. Do I need to look presentable? Can I wear this again? Does it even matter? You looked at yourself in the mirror for a second, then looked away. Too much effort to really see yourself. Breakfast. You knew you should eat something, but standing in the kitchen, looking at the cereal, the bread, the coffee maker, All of it felt overwhelming. You grabbed something simple, maybe skipped it entirely, told yourself, "I'll eat later," but you knew you probably wouldn't. And then your day began. If you work, you went to work. If you're at home, you tried to function. And here's the thing. From the outside, you probably looked fine. You answered when people spoke to you. You smiled when you were supposed to. You said, "I'm fine," when someone asked how you were. But inside, you were performing. Every interaction took energy you didn't have. Every task, even small ones, required you to talk yourself through it. Okay, just this one thing, then you can rest. But the rest never came, because there was always another thing. Maybe you had a meeting, or a phone call, or just had to do laundry, and you sat there, or stood there, and part of your brain was functioning, saying the right things, doing the right things. But another part, the real you, was somewhere far away, thinking, "What's the point of any of this?" Lunch came and went. Maybe you ate, maybe you forgot. The afternoon dragged. Every minute felt like an hour. You checked the time obsessively, willing it to move faster, willing the day to just be over. And your body was trying to tell you something. Your chest felt tight, like there was a weight sitting on it. Your shoulders were up near your ears, tense, but you didn't even notice until they started to ache. Your jaw was clenched. Your stomach was either in knots or completely empty of feeling. And underneath it all, this exhaustion. Not, "I worked hard, tired." Not, "I need a nap, tired." Soul tired. Tired of being. Tired of existing. Tired of the constant effort it takes just to be a person. The evening finally came. You came home, or you finished whatever you had to do, and you collapsed. On the couch, on your bed, wherever. You thought, finally, I can rest. But you couldn't, because your mind wouldn't stop. You tried to watch something, TV, a video, anything to distract yourself, but you couldn't focus. Your mind kept drifting. What did I even do today? Did I accomplish anything? Am I falling behind? And then, worse. What's wrong with me? Why is existing so hard for me? Other people seem fine. Other people function. What's wrong with me? You scrolled your phone, social media, messages, anything. Everyone else looked like they were living, doing things, happy, functional, and you felt even more alone, even more broken, like you're the only one who finds just being alive this exhausting. Dinner. Another negotiation. Should I eat? I should eat, but I'm too tired to cook, too tired to even order something. Maybe you ate something small. Maybe you skipped it. And then the guilt. I should take better care of myself. Why can't I even do basic things? But you were too tired to care. And then night came. You lay down, finally, your body aching for rest. But your mind wouldn't stop. Replaying the day, all the things you didn't do, all the things you should have done better. And that thought, quiet at first, but growing louder. What if I could just disappear? Not die, not hurt myself, just not be here anymore, not have to carry this anymore. And immediately, shame crashed over you like a wave. What's wrong with me? Other people have real problems. I should be grateful. Why am I like this? You tried to push the thought away, tried to sleep, but it stayed there, hovering, and you lay here now, exhausted by the effort of existing, unable to rest, feeling like you're failing at the most basic thing, being alive. If this feels familiar, I need you to hear something. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are not failing. Right now, at this very moment, thousands of people are lying in the dark, feeling exactly what you're feeling. This bone-deep exhaustion, this heaviness, this sense that existing itself is too much. You're not alone in this. This isn't a personal failing. This isn't weakness. This is what happens when you've been running on empty for too long. When you've been trying to earn your existence, justify your presence, prove your worth for so long that your system has just given out. Modern life has taught you a lie. That your worth equals your productivity, that rest must be earned, that you have to justify taking up space, that if you're not achieving, contributing, doing something, then you're worthless. And your nervous system, brilliant, trying to protect you, has been in overdrive trying to meet that impossible standard, and it can't anymore. You're not lazy. You're not broken. You're exhausted. And exhausted things need rest. Not earned rest. Not rest after you've accomplished enough. Just rest. Because you exist. And that's enough. This feeling, this crushing weight, it's not permanent. It's not who you are. People have found their way through this, not by doing more, not by trying harder, by learning something radical, that they don't have to earn their existence. That being is enough. There is a way through, and it starts with understanding that you're not the problem. The belief that you have to earn your right to be here, that's the problem. Let me tell you about 3 people who felt exactly what you're feeling right now, who woke up every morning with that same dread, who moved through their days like ghosts, who lay awake at night, so tired of existing they didn't know if they could go on, and how they found their way back, not to who they were before, but to something even more important, permission to simply be. This is their story, and it might show you your way forward too. Let me tell you about Olivia. She's 38, an ICU nurse in Seattle. For 15 years, she loved her work, loved helping people, loved the feeling of making a difference. But something broke during the pandemic. Not suddenly, slowly, like a crack spreading through glass. At first, it was small things, forgetting to eat lunch, driving home and not remembering the route, standing in her kitchen, staring at the fridge, unable to decide what to make. Her partner would ask, "How was your day?" And Olivia would say, "Fine, always fine." But she'd realize she couldn't remember most of it, just a blur of tasks, bodies, machines beeping. Then it got worse. She started waking up with this crushing feeling in her chest before she even opened her eyes. Oh no, I have to do this again. 12-hour shifts, life or death decisions, families crying, patients dying, and her in the middle of it, trying to hold it all together. One morning, she sat on the edge of her bed for 20 minutes, just sat there, staring at her scrubs laid out on the chair. Her partner found her. "Olivia, you're going to be late." "I know," she said, but I couldn't move. It felt like her body weighed 1,000 pounds. Getting ready became impossible. Showering felt like climbing a mountain. Each step, lift your arm, turn on the water, wash your hair, required a conversation with herself. Just do this one thing, then you can rest. But there was never rest. At work, she performed, code blue, and she was there, doing compressions, calling orders, moving fast. From the outside, she looked fine, competent, professional. But inside, she felt nothing. Not fear, not urgency, not even sadness when they lost someone, just emptiness. One shift, a patient coded, a young woman, early 30s, sudden cardiac arrest. Everyone rushed in. Olivia did her job perfectly, intubated, got the line in, pushed meds. They got her back, pulse, breathing, stable. The attending squeezed Olivia's shoulder. Great work. And Olivia felt nothing. She should have felt relief, pride, something. But there was just this hollow space where emotions used to be. Later, in the bathroom, washing her hands, she looked at herself in the mirror, really looked, and she didn't recognize the person staring back. Who is this? When did I become this? Her eyes looked dead, her face pale, drawn. She looked like her patients, like someone barely alive. That night, driving home, she missed her exit. Not because she was distracted, because she forgot where she lived for a moment. She pulled over, hands shaking, and just cried. "I can't do this anymore. I can't. I can't." But then, what else would she do? This was who she was. Olivia the nurse. Olivia who saves lives. If she wasn't that, who was she? At home, her partner was waiting, made dinner, asked about her day, and Olivia just stood there in the doorway, unable to take off her shoes, unable to speak. Her partner came over, concerned. "What's wrong?" "I don't know," Olivia said. "I don't know what's wrong with me." They sat on the couch. Olivia tried to explain. "I'm just so tired, not physically, I'm tired of existing, tired of being. Every breath feels like work. Every moment feels like I'm drowning. Her partner held her. You're burned out, love. You need help. And Olivia knew that was true. But help felt impossible, because that would mean admitting she couldn't do it, that she was failing. Weeks passed, months. Olivia kept going to work, kept showing up, kept performing. But inside, she was collapsing. She stopped seeing friends. Too much effort. Stopped cooking. Too exhausting. Stopped doing anything that wasn't absolutely necessary. Just work, sleep, work, sleep. Except she couldn't really sleep anymore either. One night, late, lying in bed, scrolling her phone because she was too tired to sleep but too wired to rest, she saw an article. Compassion, fatigue is real. She clicked it, and as she read, something broke open inside her. The article described exactly what she was feeling. The numbness, the exhaustion, the sense of being hollowed out. It wasn't weakness. It wasn't failure. It was a real thing. A thing that happened to people who gave too much for too long. Olivia started crying. For the first time in months. Not sad crying. Relief crying. Because someone had named it. This thing she'd been carrying. This weight she thought was hers alone. She wasn't broken. She was depleted. The next day, she called a therapist. It took 3 tries. She kept hanging up before they answered, too scared, too ashamed. But finally, she stayed on the line. I need help, she said. I'm a nurse, and I can't take care of myself anymore. The therapist's voice was kind. That makes perfect sense. You've been taking care of everyone else. Who's been taking care of you? Olivia realized. No one, not even herself. In therapy, her therapist said something that changed everything. You've been earning your right to exist for 15 years, saving lives, being essential, being needed. But somewhere along the way, you started believing that's why you deserve to be here. That if you stop saving people, you lose your right to exist. Olivia sat with that, and slowly, over weeks, she began to see it. She'd made her worth conditional, tied it to her productivity, to her usefulness, and when she couldn't sustain that anymore, she felt worthless. But her therapist asked, what about when you were born? Did you have to earn your existence then? No, Olivia said. So when did that change? When did just being enough? Olivia started practicing something new. 5 minutes a day, just lying down. No phone, no tasks, no earning. Her therapist called it non-doing practice. Just be, just exist, without justifying it. At first, it was excruciating. Olivia would lie there and her mind would scream, "This is a waste of time. You should be doing something. People need you. You're being selfish." But she kept practicing, not fixing herself, not achieving anything, just being. She'd place her hand on her heart, feel it beating, and she'd whisper, "I exist. That's enough." Sometimes she believed it, most times she didn't, but she kept practicing. Slowly, things began to shift. Not all at once, not dramatically, but small things. She could eat breakfast without negotiating with herself. She could drive home and remember the drive. She could feel things again. Not much, but something. 4 months later, she's still a nurse. She still works in the ICU. She still saves lives. But she's different now. She says no to extra shifts. She has boundaries. She takes her breaks. And every morning, before her shift, she takes 10 minutes. Just sitting, just being, not preparing, not psyching herself up, not earning, just existing, breathing, reminding herself, "I don't have to earn this day. I'm allowed to be here." She told me recently, "I'm still tired some days, but I'm not tired of existing anymore. I'm learning the difference between working hard and working to justify my existence. One is sustainable. The other almost killed me." Olivia's story teaches us something crucial. Compassion fatigue isn't weakness. Burnout isn't failure. And you don't have to earn your existence by being useful, productive, or essential. You're allowed to be here simply because you are. Now, Olivia's path was recognizing depletion from giving too much. But sometimes, the exhaustion doesn't come from what you do. It comes from who you think you have to be. Let me tell you about Benjamin. Benjamin is 44 Vice President of Marketing in Chicago. On paper, he's successful. 6-figure salary, corner office. People respect him. But inside, he's completely empty. Benjamin doesn't remember when it started. Maybe it was always there. This sense that he was performing, playing a role. Benjamin the successful. Benjamin the VP. Benjamin who has it together. But underneath, he didn't know who he actually was. Mornings were the worst. He'd wake up, and for a split second, there'd be peace. Then he'd remember work, meetings, expectations, and this heavy dread would settle over him. Another day of pretending. He'd stand in the shower, and this thought would come. What's the point of any of this? Not suicidal, not wanting to die, just what's the point? The campaigns, the metrics, the quarterly targets, the branding strategies. Who cares? Does any of this matter? But he'd push the thought away, get dressed, put on his work face. And by the time he got to the office, he was Benjamin the VP again. Confident, strategic, in control. Meetings felt like performing in a play he didn't write. He'd sit there, nodding, contributing insights, making decisions. And part of him, the real him, was floating somewhere above, watching, thinking, "This is absurd." We're having a 30-minute debate about font choices for a campaign no one will remember next month. And I'm supposed to care about this? But he did care, or pretended to, because that was his job. That was who Benjamin was supposed to be. Evenings, he'd come home exhausted, not from working hard, from performing, from being someone he wasn't sure he actually was. His wife would ask, "How was your day?" "Fine." "Good." Closed that deal. The usual. But inside, he was screaming, "I don't know who I am anymore." Some nights, he'd stay up late, sending emails. Not because they were urgent, but because lying in bed meant being alone with his thoughts. And his thoughts were dangerous. They'd whisper things like, "You're a fraud. You don't actually care about any of this. You're just going through the motions." If people knew the real you, if they knew how empty you feel inside, they'd see you're not who they think you are. And the scariest thought of all, if I'm not Benjamin the VP, then who am I? Because his entire identity, his worth, his right to exist, it was all tied up in his title, his achievements, his performance. Without that, there'd be nothing underneath, or so he believed. One morning, sitting in his car in the parking lot, Benjamin couldn't get out. He'd been sitting there for 10 minutes, 15, 20, staring at the building, knowing he had meetings, knowing people were waiting, but he couldn't move. His hands started shaking, his chest got tight, he couldn't breathe right, a panic attack, his first one. He called his wife, voice breaking. "I can't do this anymore. I can't. But I don't know how to not do this." She drove over, found him in the parking lot, helped him home, and she said something that broke everything open. "What if you're not broken, Benjamin? What if the system is? What if the problem isn't you, but what you've been taught to believe about yourself?" That afternoon, Benjamin called a therapist. The first session, he cried, just cried. "I don't know who I am," he said. "I'm 44 years old and I have no idea who I actually am when I'm not performing." His therapist asked a simple question. "Who are you when you're not Benjamin the VP?" Benjamin sat there, silent, because he had no answer. "That's what we'll explore," his therapist said. Over weeks, they worked together. His therapist introduced him to a teaching from the Buddha. You are a human being, not a human doing. Benjamin didn't understand at first. His therapist explained, "You've spent your whole life doing, achieving, performing, earning your worth through accomplishments. But your existence doesn't require that. You're allowed to simply be." This was terrifying to Benjamin, because if he wasn't defined by what he did, then what was he? His therapist said, "Exactly. That's the question. Not who you should be, but who you are, beneath all the doing." Benjamin started practicing something radical, asking himself, what do I actually need right now? Not what should I do, not what's next on the list, not what would make me more productive. What do I need? What And often, the answer was nothing. Just sit. Just breathe. Just be. This was excruciating at first. His entire nervous system screamed, "You're wasting time. You're falling behind. You're losing your edge. Everyone else is working and you're just sitting here." But he kept practicing, 5 minutes a day, then 10, then 20, just being, not achieving, not becoming, not earning. His therapist called it non-striving. And slowly, Benjamin started to notice something. There was someone underneath all the performance. Someone quieter, simpler, more real. 6 months later, Benjamin made a decision that shocked everyone. He quit his VP role, not in a blaze of glory, not dramatically. He just realized, "I can't keep earning my existence this way. It's killing me." He took a lower position, individual contributor, no team, no management responsibilities, less money, less prestige, less identity, but infinitely less exhausted. People asked, "Don't you miss it? Aren't you bored?" And Benjamin said something that surprised even him. "I'm discovering who I am when I'm not performing. And honestly, I like him more than Benjamin the VP." He's still figuring it out. Some days he feels lost, untethered, like he gave up something important. But most days he feels lighter, like he's not carrying a performance anymore. He told me recently, "I'm still tired sometimes, but I'm not tired of existing, because I'm not spending all my energy trying to be someone I'm not. I'm learning to just be, and that's enough." Benjamin's story teaches us something profound. Your identity is not your productivity. Your worth is not your achievement. You are allowed to exist without accomplishing, without achieving, without earning. Being is enough. Now, Benjamin learned his identity wasn't his job. But what about when your identity is completely erased by circumstance? When you've lost yourself in roles you never chose? Zara knows this exhaustion. Zara is 32, a new mother in Portland. Her baby is 8 months old now. She loves her child deeply, fiercely. But she told me something raw, something most mothers are afraid to say out loud. "I've lost myself completely. I don't know who I am anymore." Before the baby, Zara was a person. She had a career, graphic designer. She was good at it, had her own clients, her own projects. She had hobbies, ran marathons, painted, met friends for coffee. She was Zara. But now she's just a function. A body that produces milk and changes diapers. The first few months after birth were a blur. No sleep, constant feeding, her body not her own. Everyone said it gets easier. Just survive the first 3 months. But 3 months came and went, then 6, now 8. And it's not easier, it's just different. Every day is exactly the same. Wake up when the baby wakes up. Feed, change, soothe, put down for a nap. 30 minutes of peace maybe. Use it to shower, eat, sleep. Impossible to choose. Then the baby's awake again. Feed, change, soothe, repeat. All day, every day. No weekends, no breaks, no end. Zara looks in the mirror sometimes and doesn't recognize herself. Her body is different, softer in places, scarred, leaking. Her face is different, tired, older, hollow. But it's not just physical. She doesn't recognize the person behind the eyes. Where did I go? She thinks. When did I stop being me? She used to have thoughts about art, design, ideas. Now her thoughts are baby, baby, baby. Is she hungry? Is she tired? Why is she crying? Did I feed her on the left or the right? When did she last poop? Her partner tries to help. Takes the baby for a few hours on weekends. Go do something for yourself, they say. Rest. Have fun. But Zara doesn't know what to do anymore. She sits in a coffee shop alone and just stares into space. Who am I without the baby? She doesn't know. She can't remember. Her friends invite her out. She makes excuses. The baby needs me. I'm too tired. Maybe next time. But the truth is, she doesn't know how to be Zara anymore. Only Zara the mother. And even that, she feels like she's failing at. The baby cries, and Zara feels nothing but exhaustion. I love you, she thinks. I do. But I'm so tired of existing like this. And then, immediately, crushing guilt. What kind of mother thinks that? Other people struggle to have kids. Other people would give anything for this. What's wrong with me? One afternoon, her mother-in-law visited, brought food, held the baby, and looked at Zara. Really looked at her. You look exhausted, dear. And something about the kindness in her voice broke Zara completely. She started crying. Couldn't stop. I don't know who I am anymore, she sobbed. I love her. I do. But I've disappeared. I'm just a mother and nothing else, and I'm so tired of it. Her mother-in-law held her. You're still you, she said, just buried under impossible expectations. You're allowed to grieve who you were. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to be more than just a mother. That permission, hearing someone say it out loud, changed something. Zara started seeing a postpartum doula, and the doula said something that gave her permission to breathe. You don't have to be grateful every moment. You can love your baby and still grieve who you were. Both can be true. The doula taught her something simple. 3 minutes, while the baby naps. Just 3 minutes. Not catching up on chores, not scrolling your phone, not being productive. Just sitting, just being, just remembering you're a person, not just a function. Zara started practicing. At first, she couldn't do it. The 3 minutes felt like torture. Her mind screamed, "You should be folding laundry, washing bottles, sleeping, doing something useful." But she kept practicing. She'd sit on her couch, close her eyes, place her hand on her heart, and she'd whisper to herself, "I am more than a mother. I am more than what I do. I am still Zara." Sometimes she believed it. Most times she didn't. But she kept whispering it. Slowly, over weeks, then months, something shifted. She started taking longer moments, 5 minutes, 10. She'd look at photos of herself from before, remember that person, not with longing, but with recognition. Oh, there I am. I'm still here, just buried. She started painting again. Just 15 minutes while her partner watched the baby. At first, her hand didn't know what to do. She felt clumsy, out of practice, but it felt like coming home. 1 year later, Zara is still a mother, still tired most days. The baby is walking now, getting into everything. It's a different exhaustion. But once a week, Zara takes an hour, completely alone. No baby, no partner, just her. Sometimes she paints, sometimes she walks, sometimes she sits in a coffee shop and reads. She told me recently, "I'm learning to be both, mother and Zara, both, not one or the other. I'm allowed to exist beyond my roles. I'm allowed to be more than what I provide. I'm still tired sometimes, but not tired of being. Because I'm not just a function anymore. I'm a person who also happens to be a mother." Zara's story teaches us something crucial. You can love your roles deeply and still need to be more than them. Your existence is not defined by what you produce, what you provide, or who you serve. You are allowed to simply be. Not just mother, not just employee, not just caregiver. You, the whole person, complex, messy, real. 3 people, 3 different struggles. Olivia, giving everything until nothing was left. Benjamin, performing a role until he forgot who he was underneath. Zara, disappearing into a role she never chose. All 3 believed the same lie. I have to earn my existence. Olivia earned it by saving lives. Benjamin earned it by achieving. Zara earned it by being everything to everyone. And when they couldn't do it anymore, they felt like they'd lost their right to be here. But here's what they discovered. They were never earning anything. Existence isn't something you earn. It's not a privilege granted for good behavior. It's the ground condition. You exist. That's enough. That's everything. This is what the Buddha saw 2,500 years ago. This is what modern psychology is now confirming. This is the freedom that's available to you right now, tonight. Let's explore what he discovered. Before the Buddha became the Buddha, he was Siddhartha, just a man. A prince, actually. Wealthy, protected, given everything. But he felt the same thing you might be feeling now. Something's missing. Something's not right. There has to be more than this. So he left his palace, left his comfort, went searching for the answer, and he tried everything. He studied with the greatest teachers, practiced the most advanced meditations, followed every spiritual path available, but nothing worked. The restlessness remained. So he tried something more extreme. If comfort doesn't work, maybe suffering will. He stopped eating, barely slept, pushed his body to the absolute edge, trying to achieve enlightenment, trying to become worthy, trying to earn his awakening through discipline and pain. He became so thin, his ribs showed through his skin, so weak he could barely stand. He was dying, literally. And he still hadn't found what he was looking for, because he was still trying, still earning, still believing that awakening was something he had to achieve. One day, sitting by a river, exhausted, starving, on the edge of death, he heard something. Music, a boat passing by, a teacher instructing his student on how to tune a stringed instrument. The teacher said, if the string is too tight, it breaks. If it's too loose, it won't play. The perfect sound comes from perfect tension. Not too tight, not too loose, just right. And Siddhartha understood. The trying itself was the problem. He'd been pulling the string too tight, pushing too hard, trying to earn something that couldn't be earned. He accepted food from a passing woman, rice and milk, simple nourishment. His body began to recover. His mind began to clear. And then he sat under a tree, not to achieve anything, not to become enlightened, not to earn anything, just to sit, just to be. And in that radical non-striving, in that simple being, he woke up. He saw clearly what he'd been missing all along. The awakening he'd been desperately seeking, it was already there, had always been there. He didn't need to earn it. He didn't need to become worthy of it. He just needed to stop trying to earn it. This is what he discovered. You've been pulling the string too tight, trying to earn your existence, trying to justify taking up space, trying to be productive enough, good enough, worthy enough, and you're about to break. The solution isn't trying harder, it's letting the string rest. After his awakening, the Buddha taught something that sounds simple but is radically challenging. You are a human being, not a human doing. Think about that for a moment. A human being, not a human doing. But modern life has inverted this completely, hasn't it? You've learned that your worth equals your productivity, that rest must be earned, that doing nothing equals being worthless. You've learned that you're only as valuable as your last achievement, your current output, your productivity metrics. This is the lie that's exhausting you. The Buddha saw this pattern everywhere. People measuring their worth by their accomplishments, by their usefulness, by their performance, and suffering endlessly because it's never enough. There's always one more thing to achieve, one more level to reach, one more way to prove yourself. It never ends. So he taught something radical. Look at a tree. Does it earn its right to exist by producing fruit? No, it exists. And because it exists, because it's rooted in the earth, because it receives sun and water, fruit may come. But the fruit isn't why the tree deserves to exist. The tree exists first. The fruit is secondary. Your heart, does it earn its right to beat by being productive? No, it beats simply because you're alive. It doesn't calculate whether you've done enough today to deserve another beat. It just beats because you exist. You don't have to earn your existence. Existence is not a privilege you must justify through achievement. It's not a reward for good behavior. It's not conditional on your productivity. It's the ground condition. You're here. That's enough. That's everything. Now, the Buddha taught something else. Something that might sound strange at first. Every being has what he called Buddha nature, inherent worth, not earned worth, not conditional worth, not I'm worthy because I did something worth. Inherent, built-in, unconditional. Think about a newborn baby. That baby hasn't achieved anything, can't contribute anything, can't earn anything. All that baby can do is receive, be held, be fed, be loved. Does that baby have worth? Of course, absolutely, without question. Now, when did you lose that? When did just existing stop being enough? When did your worth become conditional? Probably somewhere in childhood, someone taught you, consciously or not, that your worth must be proven. Maybe a parent who only showed affection when you performed well. Maybe a teacher who praised achievement but ignored being. Maybe a culture that constantly asked, "What do you do?" as if that's all that matters. But the Buddha says that was always a lie. You had worth the moment you were born, unconditional, complete, whole. You still have it now, even if you haven't achieved anything today, even if you never achieve anything. Even if you can't function, can't perform, can't produce, you are worthy simply because you exist. This isn't just philosophy. This isn't just nice-sounding words. The Buddha discovered something about the nature of reality itself. And now, 2,500 years later, modern science is confirming exactly what he saw. Let's talk about what's happening in your body right now. The World Health Organization now recognizes occupational burnout as a medical diagnosis, not a personal failing, not weakness, a medical condition. 70% of American workers report experiencing burnout. 70%. You're not alone in this. But here's what's crucial. Research shows that burnout isn't caused by working hard. It's caused by a mismatch between effort and reward, between what you give and what you get back. And the deepest mismatch of all, believing you must earn your right to exist while simultaneously never feeling you've done enough. This creates a trap, a loop with no exit. No matter how much you do, it's never enough to justify your existence. So you keep pushing, keep earning, keep trying, until your body says, "I can't anymore." This creates chronic stress, constantly elevated cortisol levels, your adrenal glands working overtime, your immune system suppressed. Your body literally cannot sustain the belief that you must earn your existence. It will break down. It has to. Because biologically, you're not designed to be in achievement mode constantly. You're designed to oscillate, work and rest, doing and being. But you've been in doing mode so long, your nervous system has forgotten how to rest. A researcher named Dr. Stephen Porges developed something called polyvagal theory. It shows that your nervous system has different states. There's sympathetic activation, fight or flight, doing, achieving, surviving. And there's what he calls ventral vagal, safe and social, resting, being, connecting. When you're in chronic achievement mode, when you believe you must earn your existence, your nervous system stays stuck in sympathetic activation. Always on, always vigilant, always pushing. Even when you're trying to rest, your body thinks it needs to be doing something. This is why lying in bed feels like work, why relaxing feels impossible, why just being feels wrong. Your nervous system has been in survival mode so long, it thinks being is dangerous. But here's what Porges discovered. When you practice being without doing, when you give yourself permission to exist without earning it, something shifts. Your nervous system begins to downregulate, to soften, to remember that it's safe to just be. The Buddha's teaching on non-striving, it's a nervous system reset, not just philosophy, biology. There's more. Dr. Kristin Neff has spent 2 decades researching self-compassion, and she's found something remarkable. When you treat yourself with kindness, when you allow yourself to exist without justifying it, your body chemistry changes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Oxytocin, the bonding and care hormone, rises. It's the exact same neurochemical shift that happens when someone else cares for you, comforts you, holds you. You can give yourself what you're desperately seeking from others. Not by doing more, not by achieving more, by simply being with compassion. Her research shows that people who practice self-compassion have lower rates of anxiety, depression, and burnout. Not because they're achieving more, but because they've stopped trying to earn their existence. They've remembered what the Buddha taught. Being is enough. And there's something else, something even more profound. Neuroscientists have studied what happens in the brain during states of non-striving meditation. When people practice just being without trying to achieve anything, something remarkable happens. There's a part of your brain called the default mode network. It's active when you're thinking about yourself, planning, worrying, judging, achieving. It's the part that says, I'm not good enough. I need to do more. I have to earn my place here. When you practice non-striving, when you simply exist without trying to become something, that network quiets down. And another network activates, the present moment network. You shift from becoming to being, from earning to existing, from doing to simply being here, now. Brain scans show this clearly. Experienced meditators, people who've practiced non-striving for years, they can shift between these states at will. And over time, the default mode network, the constant self-judgment and achievement seeking, it gets quieter. Not because they've achieved more, but because they've stopped trying to achieve their existence. So when the Buddha taught, you are already whole, you are already worthy, you don't need to become anything, he wasn't speaking poetry. He was describing the literal structure of your brain and nervous system. You have a biological capacity to exist without earning it. You've just forgotten how to access it. One more thing, the Buddha taught about what's called Buddha nature. The idea that every being has inherent worth, not because of what they do, but because of what they are. This sounds mystical, but there's a psychological truth here. When you were born, you didn't have to earn your mother's care. She didn't look at you and think, well, what have you achieved today? What makes you worthy of my love? No. You were worthy simply because you existed. That's still true. You just stopped believing it. Somewhere along the way, someone taught you that existence must be justified, that taking up space requires an excuse, that you're only as valuable as your productivity. But that was never true. It was always a lie so common, so pervasive, that it feels like truth, but it's not. So what does all this mean for you, lying here tonight, exhausted by the weight of existing? It means this: the exhaustion you feel is not a personal failing. It's your body's honest, biological response to an impossible demand. Earn your right to be here. Your nervous system cannot sustain that demand. It was never meant to. Your brain cannot function in constant achievement mode. It needs rest. Your body cannot carry the weight of conditional existence. It will break down, and it has. That's why you're here. But here's the truth the Buddha discovered, and science now confirms. You can stop now. You don't have to earn another breath. You don't have to justify taking up space. You don't have to achieve enough, do enough, become enough. You're allowed to exist simply because you do. That's not laziness. That's not giving up. That's not spiritual bypassing. That's remembering what's true. That's returning to the ground condition. That's what the Buddha called awakening. Being is enough, not as an idea, not as something to achieve, as the simplest, most obvious, most easily overlooked truth. Right now, in this moment, you exist. And that existence doesn't require justification. It never did. Now, let's practice this together, not as a concept, as lived experience. Let's explore what it actually means in your body right now to exist without earning it. Before we practice together, let's be clear about something. This isn't about becoming more productive. This isn't about fixing yourself so you can do more, achieve more, function better. This is about remembering how to exist without earning it. And that starts with letting go of 3 beliefs you might be carrying. First belief: I need to do this perfectly. No, you don't. This isn't a test. There's no right way to exist. If you fall asleep during this practice, that's not failure. That's your body finally feeling safe enough to rest. If your mind wanders constantly, that's not doing it wrong. That's just what minds do. There is no perfect here, only being. Second belief: this practice will fix me. These practices aren't about fixing you, because you're not broken. You're exhausted, you're depleted, you're carrying an impossible weight. But broken? No, never that. These practices are about remembering, not becoming. Remembering what you've always been underneath the exhaustion. Enough, whole, worthy, just as you are. Third belief: I need to practice for a long time for this to work. No. Start so small it feels almost silly. Not 30 minutes, not even 10. 30 seconds of just breathing. 3 minutes of just being. That's enough. That's everything. Now, one more thing before we begin. Be absurdly kind to yourself during this. The voice that says this isn't working, or you're doing it wrong, or this is stupid, that's the old pattern. The voice that says you must earn, you must achieve, you must prove. Just notice it. Don't fight it. Don't judge yourself for having it. Just notice and return to breathing. That returning again and again, that's the practice. Okay, let's begin. Right now, exactly as you are, lying here, you're going to practice the most radical thing: existing. Just existing. Not meditating well, not achieving a state, not becoming peaceful, just being here. That's it. Place one hand on your heart. Feel it there. Your heart is beating right now, this moment. It's been beating all day, all week, your entire life, without you doing anything, without you earning it, without you achieving enough to deserve it. It just beats. Feel it. Feel that pulse under your hand. That's your life, right there, unconditional, given, free. You didn't earn that heartbeat. It's not a reward for being productive today. It's just here because you exist. Now, say this with me, out loud or silently, however feels right. I exist. That's it. Just that. I exist. Not I should exist. Not I need to earn existing. Not I'll exist once I accomplish enough. Just I exist. Say it again. I exist. Notice what comes up. Maybe resistance. Maybe that voice saying, but I haven't done enough today. But I'm wasting time. But this is silly. But I don't deserve to just exist. Just notice those thoughts. Don't fight them. Don't judge yourself for having them. They're just thoughts, old patterns, old beliefs. And return. I exist. Feel your breath now. You're not making it happen. You're not controlling it. It's just happening. Air entering, air leaving, existing, without effort, without earning, without justification. Your breath doesn't ask permission, doesn't calculate whether you've done enough today to deserve another breath. It just breathes because you're alive. Stay here for a few more breaths, just feeling, just being, just existing. I exist. That's it. That's the whole practice. You just practiced existing without justifying it. 3 breaths, maybe a minute. That's enough. You don't need to do more. You don't need to get better at it. You existed. That's the entire point. And you can come back to this anytime. Right now, reading this, tomorrow morning, in the middle of the night when the thoughts are loud. Anytime you feel that weight, that pressure, that sense that you're not doing enough, not being enough. Hand on heart, feel the beat. I exist. That's enough. Now, let's explore a practice for when you're lying here at night, trying to rest, and your body won't let go. This is called body permission practice. Your body has been holding all day, all week, maybe months, years, holding tension, holding responsibility, holding the weight of earning your existence. And it doesn't know how to let go anymore. So we're going to give it permission, explicit permission. Each part of your body, we're going to tell it, you can rest now. You don't have to hold anymore. Let's begin with your head. Feel your head on the pillow. Feel the weight of it. Your head has been carrying so many thoughts today, so many worries, so many calculations, so many plans. And now, say to it, either out loud or silently. Head, you can rest now. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to solve any problems. You can just be here, heavy, resting. Feel your forehead. Notice if there's tension there. Lines, tightness. Forehead, you can soften now. You don't have to hold anything. You can let go. Your eyes. They've been working all day, seeing, reading, focusing. Eyes, you can close. You can rest. There's nothing you need to see right now. Nothing you need to watch for. You're safe. Your jaw. Notice if it's clenched. Most people hold tension here without realizing. Jaw, you can release now. You don't have to hold anything together. You don't have to be strong. Let your teeth part slightly. Let your tongue rest. Your neck. It's been holding up your head all day. That's a lot of weight. Neck, you can rest now. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The pillow has you. Let your neck soften. Let it sink. Your shoulders. Oh, your shoulders. They've been up near your ears, haven't they? Holding tension, carrying weight. Shoulders, you can drop now. You don't have to carry anything. Not responsibility, not expectation, not the world. Let them melt down, down into the bed. Your arms, your hands. They've been doing all day, typing, holding, working, performing tasks. Arms, hands, you can rest now. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to hold anything. Let them be heavy. Let them be still. Your chest, your heart. Your chest has been tight, hasn't it? Holding breath, holding fear, holding anxiety. Chest, you can soften now. You don't have to protect anything. You're safe here. Let your breath deepen naturally. Let your chest expand and release. Your stomach, your belly. It's been holding tension too. Knots, tightness, holding everything in. Belly, you can release now. You don't have to hold yourself together. You can be soft. You can let go. Your back. It's been supporting you all day, holding you upright. Back, you can rest now. The bed is holding you. You don't have to hold yourself anymore. Let your back spread. Let it release into the surface beneath you. Your hips, your legs. They've been carrying you, moving you, getting you through the day. Hips, legs, you can rest now. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to move. Let them be heavy. Let them sink. Your feet. They've been working too, holding you up, moving you forward. Feet, you can rest now. There's nowhere to go, nothing to chase, nothing to run from. Just rest. Just be still. And now, your whole whole body, all of it, from your head to your feet. Your whole body, hear this. You've done enough. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to justify lying here. You can just stop. You're allowed. You've always been allowed. Body, you can rest now. Notice how you feel now. Maybe heavier, maybe softer, maybe parts of you are still holding. That's okay. They'll release when they're ready. You can do this practice anytime, every night if you need to, as many parts as you need, as slowly as you need. Your body has been waiting for this permission. Now, one more practice for tomorrow morning. Before you do anything, before the day begins, before the weight returns. When your alarm goes off, or when you naturally wake up, don't reach for your phone. Not yet. Don't check the news. Don't check your messages. Don't start planning your day. Not yet. Just sit up or stay lying down. Doesn't matter. And spend 30 seconds, just 30 seconds, just being. Not meditating, not achieving presence, not doing a practice, just being. Here's what that looks like. You wake up. You're aware you're awake. Maybe you're already thinking, oh no, another day, so much to do. How will I get through this? Notice those thoughts. Don't fight them. And then, just for 30 seconds, place your hand on your heart again. Feel that heartbeat, still beating, still here. And whisper to yourself, or just think it, I exist. That's enough for right now. Not I exist, and I need to achieve something to justify that. Just I exist. That's enough. 30 seconds, that's all. Then you can start your day. Check your phone. Do whatever you need to do. But those 30 seconds, they're yours. They're for being, not doing. This isn't about becoming a morning person. This isn't about productivity. This is about remembering. Every single morning before the world tells you otherwise, that your existence doesn't require justification. You're allowed to be here. You've always been allowed. Do this for 1 week, just 1 week, and notice what changes. Maybe nothing, maybe something small, maybe something profound. But you don't have to achieve anything from this practice. It's not about results. It's about remembering. Now you might be wondering, which practice should I do? When should I do which one? Let me help you navigate that. If you're lying here right now, unable to rest, your body tight, your mind racing, use the body permission practice. Go through each part. Give each part permission to stop holding. This helps your nervous system shift from doing to being. If you wake up already exhausted, already dreading the day, already feeling like you can't do this again, use the morning 30-second practice. Hand on heart. I exist. That's enough. Just 30 seconds before the weight of doing begins. If you're in the middle of your day and suddenly you feel that wave, that overwhelming sense of, I can't do this, I'm not enough, I'm failing, use the I exist practice. Wherever you are, bathroom, car, desk, doesn't matter. Hand on heart, I exist. 3 breaths, that's it. But honestly, the best practice is the one you'll actually do. So pick one, just one. Don't try to do all 3 perfectly. Don't add pressure. Pick the one that feels most accessible to you right now, and try it once. Tomorrow, you can try it again, or not. The day after, you can try a different one, or not. There's no earning here, no achieving, no getting it right. Just when you remember, when you need it, you have these tools. Permission to exist, permission to rest, permission to be. And on the days you forget, on the days you go back to earning, achieving, proving, that's okay too. That's being human. You can always come back. The practice is always here. Your breath is always here. Your heartbeat is always here. And so is the truth. You exist. That's enough. That's everything. Let's bring everything together now. Tonight, you learned something important. Olivia, Benjamin, and Zara all discovered the same truth. They didn't have to earn their existence. The Buddha taught this 2,500 years ago. Being is enough, and science confirms it. Your nervous system is dysregulated because you've been in achievement mode too long. You practiced 3 things: I exist, permission to be, body permission, rest without earning, morning 30 seconds, daily reminder. These aren't complex. They're not supposed to be. The point is, you already are enough. You don't have to achieve enough, do enough, produce enough. You exist. That's the whole thing. Now here's what's important. You don't need to remember any of this. You don't need to get it right. If you fall asleep right now and forget everything I've said, that's perfect. Your body already knows how to rest. Your heart already knows it doesn't need to earn its beating. These practices, they're just reminders. And if you forget them tomorrow, and you're lying here again next week, feeling tired of existing, that's okay too. This isn't about fixing you, because you're not broken, you're just tired, and tired things are allowed to rest. Feel your body now. Notice how heavy it's becoming. Your head sinking into the pillow, your shoulders releasing down, your chest softening with each breath, your legs so heavy. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to become anything. You don't even have to sleep. You can just be. Here, now, breathing, existing. That's enough. Let's rest together. May you rest deeply tonight. May you know, deep in your bones, that you don't have to earn your existence. May you wake tomorrow and remember you're allowed to just be. May you forgive yourself for believing you had to do more, be more, achieve more. You were always enough. May the weight you've been carrying finally be set down. May you discover that being is enough, that breath is enough, that you are enough. Not because of what you did today, not because of what you'll do tomorrow, but because you exist, and existence needs no justification. May you rest in that truth. There's nothing left to do now. No more earning, no more proving, no more trying. Just this breath, this moment, this soft, dark, safe space. You can let go now of the day, of the to-do list, of the belief that you're not enough. Everything can wait. You're here, you're breathing. That's the whole thing. Feel your body now, so heavy, sinking down deeper. Your breath so quiet, barely there. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You can just be. Safe. Held. Enough. Rest now, friend. You don't have to earn tomorrow. Sleep.